We are, all of us, from the stars. We literally, scientifically, genetically have in our DNA the genetics of thousands of advanced extraterrestrial beings. And what's very interesting is we are none of us separate. Everything is one. So if the same is true for us, then the same is absolutely true also for the animals. They are not from here originally. They are from other galaxies and cosmos. And in those, they often can, I want to say speak, but we think of it as using our lips. But that's not so with a lot of advanced civilizations. They don't need that. That's kind of old school. They have telepathy and other modalities. Interdimensional. All of us, all of creation, literally comes from the stars.
Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, beloved hearts. We have a very special treat today in this podcast episode. I am with Debbie Dachinger, and she is a practitioner of the shamanic frequencies, and she also is experienced with extraterrestrials. That's part of her story and her background. Today, we are talking about animal spirit medicine, as we will be healed in our frequency so we can be solid here in this frequency and dimension. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Loren. I feel like you and I meeting was supposed to happen, and I've been waiting for this moment with you. So honestly, it's an honor to be here with you and all the great work that you do in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful work. You are really dialed into the spiritual community. You help represent a lot of people and getting them out to the world. And you yourself are a shaman practitioner. And that's really amazing. So as we're talking interdimensional beings and today's topic of animal spirit medicine, something's going on here. Can you share the relationship between animals and spirit medicine and this notion of interdimensionality?
Yeah. So we are all interdimensional. We are all multi-dimensional, which means that while this reality or illusion is going on, at the very same time, we have other realities and illusions going on. Sometimes they're considered past lives, future lives, but no such thing exists. And we are, all of us, from the stars. We literally, scientifically, genetically have in our DNA the genetics of thousands of advanced extraterrestrial beings. And what's very interesting is we are none of us separate. Everything is one. So if the same is true for us, then the same is absolutely true also for the animals. They are not from here originally. They are from other galaxies and cosmos. And in those, they often can, I want to say speak, but we think of it as using our lips. But that's not so with a lot of advanced civilizations. They don't need that. That's kind of old school. They have telepathy and other modalities. And you think of a planet like the constellation that used to exist, but because of the wars, the Draco Wars and Orion Wars is no more, but still the beings are, which are the Lyrans. The Lyrans are the lion beings. They're very real. I come from them. I know them well. And so they do indeed exist. And those lion beings walked on two legs, had two arms, very creative, very fierce, very gentle, and were the original human template. And so there are dog planets and octopus. The octopus is a whole fascinating subject unto itself. But the point is interdimensional. All of us, all of creation, literally comes from the stars.
The universe is within us, the stardust, the stars that we come from, that's literally within our DNA. So how do we activate that?
Mm-hmm. I think awareness is your first step. And so I'd love to add to that awareness a little bit and explain to you. So this is going to be maybe the briefest, but hopefully most comprehensive overview people will hear. 450,000 years ago on this planet, the Anunnaki, who lived in a different galaxy, were having issues on their planet, Nibiru. Specifically, their atmosphere was disintegrating. They did some dumb things that we're doing on this planet now. And so they knew that they would not survive, and they realized they needed gold, specifically monatomic gold, that they could blow into their atmosphere to heal it. Where was gold? Aha, Earth. Where on Earth? Africa. They could mine for gold here. And so there's a very rogue faction of Anunnakis who decided to come to Earth. I say rogue because everybody knows that we are a planet and a humanity here on Earth of free will. No one is supposed to make a choice for us. But these rogue group of Anunnaki did. They came to Earth, very giant, and the people at that time considered them to be gods. And so they looked at the Earth people and said, wow, it would be terrific if they did the labor for us in the mines. How could we do this? They seem to be very intelligent and they live a long time. And I know we will change their DNA from 12-strand to 2-strand, basically dumbing us down, taking away our will. They did so. And the humans at that time did mine for them. They were the labor. Now, a couple of things happened. First of all, the rest of the Anunnaki went, what are you doing? And they recalled them at some point to come back to the planet. No, never supposed to do that. But here we were, damaged. We weren't living as long, we weren't giving birth to children, and we had a lot of physical issues. So over time, over all of how long we've been on this planet, which is much longer than history shows, we have had thousands upon thousands of advanced civilizations donate their genetics. So that's so. However, I'm going to go now into the science so that this all makes sense. There were 5 seed races that donated their genetics to us. And specifically, that was the felines, the reptilians, the bird, the avian, and the high-level lion beings, Lyran beings. So thank you to all of them. And what does that mean? That means that they're our brothers and sisters. Not to mention all the hybrid programs out there like the Yael and the Sasani, etc., literally who are half ET, half us, human, that are our children. That's us in the future. And so, a long time ago, there was a man named Francis Crick. And Francis Crick was the one who discovered DNA, and he won a Nobel Prize for his work. And he looked at our DNA and he said, this is directed panspermia. And what that means is, this is not indigenous to Earth. It's impossible. What I'm looking at is so complicated. It is really clear that there has been influence from extraterrestrials. And of course, what a thing to say back in those days. But he stuck to his guns as scientist and said, this is so. Now you fast forward, and there's something called the Human Genome Project. I think this is all very exciting. And the Human Genome Project has these amazing scientists, and one after the other have proclaimed the same. Specifically, there were 2 scientists called Makukov and Sherbak. And those 2 scientists wrote this great paper called the WOW terrestrial signal, the wow signal of the terrestrial. We meaning us, our signal. So what does the signal mean? It means that these scientists, going even further with better equipment than what Francis Crick had, discovered that we have in our DNA mathematical equations and symbols and hieroglyphs that are sending out messages that are a blueprint for the cosmos and that show that we are interconnected with what advanced civilizations, who, by the way, spread their life form all over the cosmos, including Earth. So they have definitively identified broken down our DNA to show that these are our cousins, our brothers, our sisters. So there's no us and them. They may look different, act different, but there is no us and them. It is a we. I hope that answers your question.
That is beautiful. That is really powerful. So how and I know many are working on this, our consciousness, our awareness, our love can actually activate that DNA, right? And the DNA obviously is multidimensional. This dormant DNA, is that the other 12 or the other 10 strands? The dormant DNA, or is it different? And there's more than just 12 strands.
Exactly. Exactly. All of that. So we are activated. We don't have to do anything right now
That's a
because
relief.
that's a relief. It's one less thing on the to-do list.
Well, that's good
Yeah.
because everyone's like, I got to activate my DNA.
It's
It's,
being
it's,
activated. You are being activated. If you're alive, you're in the ascension, and we're very much in the midst. Like it's happened, like way behind us it started, and we are so accelerated. You see time going faster than ever. You see transformation faster than ever. You see terrible things in the world we prefer not to see, but they're coming up to be healed and rectified and changed. We are living, some people are having sleep problems and all sorts of things because this energy is real. There are moon codes. You know, if you want to activate yourself, you can go out in the moon and do beautiful rituals. I do shamanic rituals. You can go in the sun and sun gaze. And by the way, to sun gaze, the sun has codes. Close your eyes. You don't have to look in the sun because it can be painful. And when you close your eyes, and you see colors start to swirl, which you will in about 5 minutes, then take all of those colors and that energy and put it down into your dantian, into your third chakra, your solar plexus, your power point, from which you can also activate and work. That's if you want to do something, take action. All of those are free, easy, and available. However, you are already being activated. You couldn't possibly be alive right now if your DNA wasn't coming alive and little lights going on, so to speak, that are showing we are coming back online in a lot of very powerful ways. And if I may be so bold, we are also on the precipice of the first open, undeniable extraterrestrial contact. It is, for most of us, happening for sure in our lifetime. And so we have to be there because they cannot even energetically come here. It is so dense. Their frequency is so incredibly different. So we have to activate ours so that for that day and for where humanity is heading as a new, beautiful, benevolent humanity, this is all possible.
wow. Okay. So this explains, I mean, I don't know if there's a person on the planet that does not believe that we're the only humans in this universe. Right? If we ask that question, I'm here in Central America. Everyone here is like, no doubt, we are not here. We are not the only humans. And so now there's interesting things that happen. So there's been contacts increasing. I've had a contact. It was really wild. And then I had a dream that was removing the fear from that contact because my husband and my son and I, we all saw it, but I couldn't feel my knees as I saw this ship over our house. And as it came, we saw more definition to the ship and we saw a band of windows. Then we saw two tiers of windows. It was really fascinating. I did not even think to get my camera, didn't even think, right? And so that must have been activating something within us. The next day, because my husband did not read about it in the newspaper, he discredited the whole thing. And I said, no, we saw what we saw. My son, who was 8 years old at the time, said, yeah, who cares? So what? Like he's seen it before, which is very fascinating. Now, here's what's interesting, Debbie. Just a couple nights ago, I had another dream. I've had a series of dreams since that 2009 sighting. And this dream was the ship literally landing, descending, landing. The beings, they looked like us. They were higher, more refined beauty. There was something that was exquisite about them. They looked a little different, and they were radiating such unconditional love that I was with a few other people, and I could still feel a hesitancy within the people, that I just said, "Nice to meet you." I went up to them and approached them, and I felt that love and the radiance, but that hesitancy, I was like, okay, well, then let's go to lunch. Then the rest of the dream was finding a place for all of us to have lunch. It was really interesting. But that is a little bit of contact in itself. Would you agree that we are having these experiences and it's coming to us to eliminate the fear first, because we cannot be in that fear if we're going to have contact? What are your experiences with this, and thoughts on dreams?
Well, I've had similar. I've had many, many craft experiences, sightings, and I have also had probably one of the greatest dreams. When you think about flying dreams, this was maybe greater, where I also was met by beings of pure light, and they just knew me, they just loved me, they just encircled me. It was so nice that it was a little hard to wake up. So I've been there. I can say from experience, and because I'm a journalist, I'm an aggregator. What I do is collect information. And I know specifically that they look for certain things. So when you and your family had that experience, they're aware of your vibration, Loren. They are aware of who you are. And it may not have been for your whole family, but how interesting, especially with your son. Children are so much more apt to believe, to know. They're coming in completely different ways, completely different wiring, and they need to be. So they're way more online than we were growing up. So I just feel like they know you, and I absolutely agree that it's a process. How kind and benevolent they, the benevolent ones. If they wanted to scare us, they could have a long time ago. They could have done many things, but they haven't. They've been patiently waiting, but they know the time has come for us to join the galactic community. So indeed, these things will be increasing. And I'll say one other thing. The one thing people often ask me, well, I want to do contact work. What can I do? You know, and yeah, there's a CE5 app, that's CE5, Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind. Dr. Stephen Greer created it, and it's available. You can download it and then do it while you're sitting out in the dark somewhere, hopefully in a place where there's a lot of activity. However, there is one thing they look for that supersedes all of that, and it's so simple, and it's the heart. And so sometimes that means healing. So the heart is more accessible. The heart is more of a beacon. We lead more with our heart. And I was wondering if I could take people through some experiences right now, talking about the heart, using shamanic animal spirit medicine to facilitate some change in general, but also this is such an auspicious time. We are at the very beginning of the year. We literally are today the beginning of the Chinese New Year, the wooden snake, and it all means something. And with all of what's happening in the world, I would love to help people have some shifts.
Beautiful. We are looking forward to that. And what I love is, here at New Earth One Network, we are identifying the awakening journey for the audience, for those who are, we've got people who are very advanced. They've been doing this for decades, and yet there's a bunch of new people waking up, and there is a group of people who are rapidly awakening, which that brings such hope. But this journey from the head to the heart is so important. That's like the biggest journey that we could take. We've heard that as well. So that's the first step, is really coming into the heart and then dissolving, clearing disruptions, blocks, distortions that keep us from expressing that heart, like heart walls. So this is very interesting because you've been getting downloads lately, right? You've been getting downloads about the planet. I can actually feel the collective. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and feel a lot of fear. And that's not in our heart, that's mostly our head, right? So share with us more about these animal clearings and journeys that we can go on.
Perfect. Thank you. And I put together a PowerPoint because I think it's wonderful for folks to see them and whatever they activate by seeing the actual animal. And the two things I will say with how beautifully Loren put that together is that, first of all, yep, the heart. And there is one other. And by the way, how awesome is this? There's nothing to buy, nothing to run around and do. You don't leave your own home. There's two things. It's the heart and it's grounding. What does that mean? That means you go in your backyard, or if you don't have a backyard, you live in an apartment, condo, instead find a park. Find a sacred plot of land where you put your feet in the ground, take off your shoes, no rubber soles. Just breathe, feel a channel of light from the cosmos come through you into the earth, and breathe back out from the earth into the cosmos. And as you do that, feel your roots go deep into the beautiful Pachamama, Mother Earth, connecting with her, rooting with her. She loves us. She houses us. She feeds us. She clothes us. All her relations, all our relations. And so to pay her homage and reverence and to build a relationship with her, that is the way to heal. So yes, I want to talk about how we can heal with these star beings who are animals and the cosmic connections we have. This power of animal medicine is something that I learned in this many-year journeys where I've been getting downloads for many years. So powerful, really, to be in the state of what feels like knowing a lot. And this beautiful quote that says, the power of animal medicine in shamanic healing is physical, spiritual essence, and the wisdom of the animals they come from. Each animal has its own unique medicine, which can be accessed through shamanic journeying, meditation, or rituals. And we're going to do some of that today. This is my story. And when I first began this journey, many years ago, I was working with a woman, and we would meet once a week for 8 months in the woods, in the forest. And she is a Peruvian female shaman, and she would take me through various journeys. We were coming towards the end of our work together, and she was putting me through something where I was supposed to receive gifts. So this woman kind of knocked me out when she did work on me, and I literally was, as though I was in a trance. I was exactly where she said. In this particular one, I was in a cave, and there was a lot of experiences and a lot of things I was supposed to see and get, and all of that was happening perfectly. And at some point, I felt this huge presence. And I stopped while I was in the cave, and I looked over, and then I looked all the way up, and there was a giant brown bear standing on its hind legs, roaring. And typically that could have been terrified, but I felt no fear at all. I was actually really fascinated. What are you doing here in this trance, in this journey? And then it got down on all fours, and as I was continuing with what the shaman was taking me through, he stayed by my side. He was definitely a male. At some point, when the journey was complete, the shaman said, now you will exit the cave. And when she said that, now she knows none of this is going on, I turned to the brown bear and I said, thank you. This has been remarkable. I need to leave the cave now. I appreciate you. Goodbye. And the bear said, oh no, I am never leaving your side. And out he walked with me back into my waking state. So always when we finished the journey, I would express to the shaman she wanted to know what happened, and she would put things together in a miraculous way, what she could understand. And I told her the story, and when I was done, I said, and something really very different happened. I met a brown bear, and I told her the story, and when I was finished, she was amazed, wasn't part of the journey, but clearly meant to be, and she said, that brown bear is your spirit animal. Now my ego got involved, like, really? You know, all the animals you love and think should be your spirit totem animal. But I looked up the brown bear, and when I read about the brown bear, I thought, it couldn't be more perfect than an animal that is loyal, that will fiercely protect you no matter what, that will never leave your side, that is very bonded to family. It had so many elements, especially the more visible I've been getting in my life and with everything going on. I needed that. I needed that loyalty and love and protection. So we all do have actually a spirit animal. I want to start today with the llama. And in Peruvian, in the Quechua language, we call it alpacay. And it's also known as the alpaca. Paca comes from Paco, and that's one of the many words they'll use to denote a type of shaman. So that means a Paco. Immediately, you can say that this llama or llama is a high priest or high priestess. How do they get their name? It's super interesting. So in Peru, when the Spanish colonized that area, it's a very nice way to say what actually happened, but the Spanish came and colonized, and they arrived and they saw these amazing animals. They'd never seen them before. And they ran around and said, ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? Meaning, what is its name? What is its name? And the Peruvian people, the Quechua people said, Llama, Llama. They just kept repeating what the Spanish said, and it stayed. So Llama basically means name. And the thing about the llama that makes it so amazing is its footing. It can climb high up the terraces in the Andes and carry a load on it and come back down, and it never loses its footing. It is of the ultimate service, because once upon a time it gave of everything. It gave of its meat, its fur, its bones for instruments, its meat for food. You know, we wear this alpaca, and although they don't do a lot of that anymore, there's a lot more awareness and respect for animals. It is the animal of great service. However, here's the thing about the llama. The llama will carry 22 kilos. If you would try to put more, a feather, a coin, a breath, the llama will not move. It doesn't matter what you try to put on it. So anything up to 44 pounds, it will be of unconditional love and service. But the llama has brilliant boundaries. And when it says no, it means no. That's how much burden I can bear and no more. And so the llama medicine teaches us two things. It teaches us unconditional love and service, and the llama teaches us boundaries, self-care. Where is too much? Where we still need to give. Where we need to let go of where we're over giving, overextending. And those can take many forms, these boundaries, because often we cross our own boundaries. Have you made, and I'm sure you have at some point in your life, you've made some kind of agreement with yourself to say, I'm going to do this. Maybe something simple like I'm going to exercise and go to the gym, or I'm going to stop having this, I'm clear it's not good. Or my thing was, I'm going to stop working so much. I am very clear that is a strength of mine when I need to get something done, but it also is very debilitating. And God, I love having fun. I love laughing. I love being creative. And I'd like all of this work to become something more. And the more is in the play area. So when I saw I am transgressing my own boundaries, I said, I'm going to do this for you, Debbie, but I am not paying attention to doing that for myself. That is a boundary I need to take a look at. So with that, I would love everybody to close their eyes so we can go on a journey. And I'm going to see if I can include some beautiful music, because I did put together some music here for us for a journey. And just close your eyes, thinking of the Llama, and start to take deep breaths. Here we go. Start to take deep breaths. And with your hands unclasped and your legs separated, relaxing in whatever chair you're in right now. And just start to see roots coming down from your feet deep into the earth. And as you see your roots go deep into the earth, you breathe and you know there's no place for you to be, nothing to do except to show up for yourself and in this moment right here, right now. And taking deep breaths, you start to hear a rustle. And off to the side, you see the beautiful Llama appear with its long eyelashes. And the Llama knows you and approaches you directly. And the Llama lets you know, I am here to share my medicine. And where is it that you could and have wanted to be a loving, unconditional service, but have not yet stepped up? You have a gift to share, or some other pocket of life or beingness, or within your tribe, where you've gotten that urge to do something very loving. Know what that is. And now take a look at your life with Llama by your side and explore the various places of your life. Where have you not set boundaries for yourself in situations, with yourself, relationships? How is that working out for you? And would you at this time like to release that to the Llama medicine? The Llama hears and sees all of what you are doing. Watch it come out of your very body as though it's dark And the Llama joins its forehead with you. And its medicine pours into your third eye, instilling new and easy boundaries. Wherever your 44 pounds and no more is. These beautiful boundaries are so clear. Part of the path. And the medicine has a little magical gift for you. As your forehead is still connected with the Llama, be surprised and listen to what the Llama has to say. And with great love, the Llama steps back. You feel whole and complete. And you can come back fully here. Just wiggle your feet and toes and massage your face. And Alpakai asks you going forward, what areas in your life are out of balance? You can call me in anytime to work with you. And they're going to remind you on the daily because now you are connected. Are you practicing self-care? Have you taken on too much? Do you overgive or overservice? Use the Alpakai, the Llama wisdom to balance your life and also be in service. This medicine is now in you. And now we're going to move to Sachamama, the great serpent, where you can transcend your limitations and move forward in your life. The great serpent is the divine feminine, is creativity. And the serpent reminds us to ask ourselves, what no longer serves me? What have I been holding on to so tightly that it no longer is of use, but I haven't let go for fear that there's nothing else out there for me? Not so. So a little bit about the snake, the serpent, which is a very important animal this year. The snake and the serpent, this is what's used in Kundalini when people have a Kundalini awakening. It's also known as the caduceus. If you've ever seen a doctor and you see the symbol as a staff with two snakes swirling around with the heads at the top. Also in sacred sexuality, when you do tantric or sacred sexuality exercises with your partner, with yourself, and you start to come alive sexually, you shoot the two snakes up from your root, because this is the root chakra animal, all the way up through your crown. And the snake is the only animal that doesn't have limbs. It's belly to belly with Mother Earth. It is as close as you can get. And what the snake does is it will approach a rock and very gently on the side of its face, it will keep pushing against the rock until there's a tear. And once there is a tear, it will continue to wriggle and move by the rock. And at some point, it in one piece comes out of its skin. And so in shaman terms, when I open sacred space, always I begin to the south, Sachamama, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us how to shed our past the way you shed your skin. Aho. And this is such a huge year for the snake. This is the year of the wooden snake starting today. And snake reminds us My darling, remember your magic, how magical you are. Be flexible today and all this year and going forward. You have longevity. We are here for growth. I am your medicine for change and transformation. I am your medicine for deeper wisdom and also for shedding and letting go. What a beautiful recipe. And I wrote my own quote here, which is everything passes, nothing remains. Understand this, loosen your grip, and find serenity. So let's take a journey with the snake so you can remember your magic and change and shed and let go. So again, if your hands are connected, let them go, and your feet as well, separate them. We do that because we want energy to flow and not create stagnation by joining them anywhere. And just take deep breaths for this beautiful journey you're about to go on, breathing deeply, letting everything from before today and this moment just go, and being right here for you right now. And as you relax and let go, you see yourself in a beautiful meadow. And off in the distance, you hear a rustling, and you see the grass start to move. And coming towards you in the most beautiful, graceful way is a beautiful snake. This snake will be different for every one of you. For some, it might be a boa constrictor. For others, a small garden snake, or anything in between, and any color, because snakes come in many beautiful, divine colors. And the snake comes and wraps its golden coils around you to be with you and to connect with you safely, securely, with great reverence and love. Because snake knows why you have come, and snake wants to meet you to facilitate some change. Snake asks you, what is it that you are holding on to? Is it finances? Is it living situations? Is it work or relationships? Is it a behavior of yours? What are you holding on to? Because I am here for you, to work with you, to facilitate releasing what no longer serves you. You have seen my medicine, my child. And when I shed, I let go of all of it in one piece. And so shall you. And the snake comes up and it rises up, anchoring itself on its tail so it can look deeply in your eyes. And you look into snake's eyes, these beautiful goddess eyes, priestess eyes, full of magic and knowing, understanding its connection to earth. And you let it know with great transparency. Yes, here is where I've been holding on. Here is where I've not been letting go. Here is what doesn't serve me. And I will trust you, snake, Sacha Mama, Yacha Mama, to take this from me in one big piece all at once. Because it does not serve me, and I know that life has something way more miraculous in mind. And it requires the space and capacity to bring it to me. And so with your hands, bring up the energy of all you've been holding on to. and begin to bring your hands forward, and Snake's eyes looks down at your hands, observing all that hasn't served you for so long, but once upon a time it did. And with its eyes, Snake commands what has been in your hands to suddenly rise up quickly, like smoke, descending, ascending, ascending. And it becomes nothing, no thing, to be transmuted, to be transformed, leaving a beautiful space within you for which miracles and magic and much higher up-leveling of all you came here to do and be. And now the snake says to you, let us work on your physicality, my child, because I'm a great healer, and I am for the physical health. What is it you need to release that has burdened you physically? Let us transmute that right now. And bring that ailment, that aberration, that discomfort, that dis-ease now, as though it is smoke, into your hands. Letting go. Now, and releasing it to the snake, and the snake's eyes again take that right out of your hands, ascending, ascending, and as it ascends, it becomes no thing to be transmuted for good somewhere else later on. And the snake touches foreheads with you and gives you its medicine. It reminds you to connect with Mother Earth as much as you can, for she has magic too. And it reminds you there is nothing you need ever hold on to for any reason. It is always here to help you release and let go. And now come back, breathing, seeing snake rustle off in the grass, moving your fingers and toes and being here once again with us in this beautiful journey. And remember as you go forward that Serpent asks, do you know that you can no longer remain where you are? Are you living life a certain way and realize this way is just not serving you? Do you need to make a big change in your life? Or are you currently in the midst of a big change? And do you desire to change things in life but you're holding on? That is snake medicine, and snake is now your ally. And I'm going to wrap this up with the most magical creature for all of us. And this may surprise you or not, but it is the fox, Atuk. Fox is about abundance because I wish this for you more than anything. The fox is absolutely amazing. The fox is a magical creature. It is clever, it is mischievous, and the fox only comes out at dusk and dawn. The fox has great messages for you. The fox uses portals and is connected with fairies. And I will tell you that the fox has showed up for me and changed my life since I started working with animal medicine. I was invited to be interviewed on Gaia TV last year, and the day came, I was in the hotel, and the driver was supposed to pick me up, and I had a moment in the hotel room where I thought, my goodness, I think I'm nervous, and I've been in this business a really long time, and I know that nerves will never serve me in a situation like that. And so I had just so much time, and in that time, I brought in fox medicine because the fox does something magical. The fox knows who you are, really, underneath all the stuff that we put on ourselves. They know the true matrix of who we are. And they know the magic that we bring, the medicine that each of us bring to the world. And so they'll remind you of their sovereignty. And they will hand you something that says, oh no, your doubt, your nerves, no, you are already that. So I had that experience, and the driver picked me up, and we went to the Gaia TV, and of course it was a beautiful, relaxed experience. So much so they invited me back, and I was just there a week and a half ago for my second interview. But what was so funny for the second interview, now I was staying in the same hotel. I'm pretty sure they didn't do a whole demolition and rebuild everything and redecorate. It's just a magnificent hotel. But I am telling you that the end of every hallway of rooms in the hotel they put me in, same hotel, was a framed picture of a fox staring out. I didn't have to do the meditation. That fox medicine was
Wow.
there on every hallway with me. And the same thing, I spoke in September in Glastonbury, UK, and I was leaving. Beautiful, magical experience. And I was leaving. And remember, I told you Fox comes out at dusk and dawn. And I was leaving London, and my partner and I, we had our luggage, and we were walking to the train station, and I just had this feeling, and I said, instead of walking on the sidewalks, do you mind if we walk through this park? So they have in London these parks, these very small, because it's very city-ish. There are gates to get in it and so forth. And here we are, boom, 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 with our luggage. And all of a sudden in the park, coming out from the bushes, was a fox. I don't know about you, but in many cities, that's not really to be expected, a sighting of a fox. So these things happen, and I take note. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Thank you for the reminder, and thank you for revealing the medicine you carry, but that we all carry too, the sovereignty of who we are. So let's go ahead and invite fox medicine into our lives. So once again, and for the final time, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And letting out the air slower than when you brought it in. Unclasping your hands and your feet. Allowing your feet to be on the ground. Allowing your roots to go deep into the beautiful, beloved Mother Earth. And just breathing and relaxing. And you see yourself in a mountainous, foresty area where there are trees and fireflies and all sorts of magical beings, when suddenly there's a rustling and out comes the beautiful fox. Fox immediately looks at you and knows that you have come to connect with its medicine. It has waited so long to be with you, and knows also that this is divine timing right now. And Fox does not walk to you, but invites you over to it. And you walk over to Fox, and you get on the ground to be with it and its magic. And Fox puts its paws on you while standing on its hind legs, one on each shoulder. And Fox telepathically communicates abundance, prosperity, and anything that is not that has not served you in that way, goes out your tailbone deep into Mother Earth to be received and transmuted. And now Fox starts to circle you. And as it comes around the other side, it shows you a portal. Think about what it is you want the most out of life, your life, right now. And knowing what that is, open your eyes in your journey only, because you will see through the portal that Fox has opened on your behalf. That life, that beingness, that dream you just proclaimed you want more than anything, it is through that portal. So let us change timelines together now to our greatest good and our greatest life. And you stand up off the ground and you consider the portal, knowing you are again leaving behind what has not served you. And with Fox cleverly leading the way, Fox leaps through the portal into the new reality and beckons you to join. And you step through this glimmering circle that has ripped a place in time and space just for you. And with confidence and surety, you walk through into a new life, a new you. And now Fox asks you to come down on the ground in this new space so you can join Farheads. As Fox transmutes its magical, clever, joyful energy to you. Receive. And as Fox backs off, the transmission is done, the activation is almost complete. Fox now asks you, here we are together. What is it you've always wanted to be? Tell me. And Fox pulls something out, which is a staff of sovereignty. And the Fox hands this to you, and you accept it and says, this is yours. You have always been this. Take it. And any time it is with you now, forevermore, installed in your being, the knowing of who you are, the sovereignty, the brilliance of all of what you came here to be. I am Fox. I am your friend. I am Atok. And with that, Fox runs off. And you know you are waking to a brand new life with Fox medicine always installed in you. And we all open our eyes, wiggle our toes, massage your face. As I say, Fox asks, where do you need to clear heaviness, stress, or fear? What big dream have you yet to manifest? What opportunity is begging you to say yes to? Because Fox is clever, adaptable, and magical. Are you? And of course you are. So that's the end of the animal spirit medicine. And I only created 2 more slides. This one for anyone who wants a gift. There's a free starseed gift to learn more about your starseed ancestry and galactic lineage. There's a QR code in my name, and I'm quite sure Loren has them in her notes as well, her descriptions. And then I know we'll be talking about the gift a little later, but I love this. Chief Seattle said, if all the beasts were gone, men would die from great loneliness of spirit, for whatever happens to the beasts also happens to the man. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. And so it is time for all of us to incorporate all of this. And I will stop the sharing right now. How are you?
Here's release, joy, and now focus, renewed focus. I just want to share those words from that activation. That's my personal experience. You were right, Debbie. This is so needed. And I know that everyone watching and listening received this medicine in their own way. And so, viewers, we wish that you recognize your journey with this experience by writing a few words of what you expressed, what you received, what you let go. I love that. Really powerful and perfect and spot on for this time, because with so much change going on, like this year, we're not even done with it yet. I'm not even done with the first month. And it feels like so much shift, like topsy-turvy, that this was really important and valuable today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It is my joy. It really is. Great Spirit really came, and I always listen. I'm a hollow bone. I say of myself, I know nothing. But when Great Spirit comes, even when I work with clients or groups, I'll be redirected, or I'll hear something to share, not understanding it, but I share it, and the receiver usually says, "That's amazing," and I'll tell you why. So it's an important time for us to show up for this and for us to remember. I mean, obviously, people can listen to this again and use this again, but in a moment's notice, whatever. And it doesn't even have to be a problem, it can be things are so wonderful and you want to incorporate even more animal medicine. These three alone this year will be your greatest allies.
Wow. All right. So thank you for that. And everyone, happy clearing, happy boundaries, shedding all of it, transformation, and stepping into abundance, doing what you are here to do, holding on to that beautiful dream, making that dream a reality. And I see behind you, Dare to Dream is your book. And that is such a great directive right now for all of us as the old is collapsing and dissolving. And it's our love and our light that builds and brings the new structures, the new systems. We cannot be tired of that, but it's the dreaming that brings that forth. Thank you for that, Debbie. I love it. I really do. So this is a great opportunity to share another shamanic journey. A live event is coming up. I know people are going to want more of this, and this is a beautiful program with you. It's a 90-minute shamanic healing session, and it's a beautiful offer. We're so happy to have it here at New Ortho Network. Tell us about this and what is going to occur in this powerful shamanic healing.
Well, Mamma Mia. I mean, I know where we're headed, but again, I'm going to take the resonance of the group. So this is going to be a group healing. I would advise everybody to be in a chair. You don't have to lay down, but be in a chair where you can be very comfortable, like today, to sit back. And basically, people are going to show up. There'll be just a little bit of talk in the beginning so I can connect with everyone's energy. And then we're going to go straight into a healing. And all people need to do is be comfortable and receive and have water. And I would highly recommend nobody plan anything after, because you're going to be in an unbelievable energy. It rewires nervous systems. It changes and alters and transmutes trauma. It always brings in the energy we prefer and lets go of the energy we do not prefer. And some of that is known and some of that is unknown. It happens on such a deep level. When I work with people, the first thing I do always is call in my lineage. So there's an entire unseen benevolent force also working on people. Chakras are going to be rebalanced. They're going to be cleaned and rebalanced, which is huge right now. especially things like the root chakra where our security is if people are feeling the wobble in the world. So I'm setting folks up in these 90 minutes for going forth into the world to be fully who you are and what it is you're here to create, the beautiful message and song you came here to sing, and also for you to be in the space, the capacity where all of that is possible. I can promise you when you come out, because I've experienced it too, never for 90 minutes, I can tell you that's going to be a real treat. Uh, and when folks are in this space, you start to realize this is what I should always feel like. This is the space I can always operate from. And that's why I don't want you to do anything right after. I want you to solidify into your being this new way of operating, this new way of existing with so much expansion and possibility. So there are many different ways that I utilize shamanic practices, and there are some that will absolutely be used for everybody. What I have found when I do group healings is there are certain things that come up synergistically in the group. It's very fascinating. And there's certain pockets where it's like, oh, this whole group needs this. And this whole group is hurting here and needs a healing there. And it's makes it very simple on my end, but everybody will receive it. And then because the benevolent beings come through me, there are benevolent extraterrestrials who work through me. There's a whole lineage of shamans who come through me. So there will be the group work, but people will also individually be receiving work because there's a lot of hands, if you will, that will be participating to facilitate everybody through this process.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I love the price of this. Again, everyone, we invite you to scroll down on this webpage or click the link in the description box where you're watching this video, and you will see how you can join Debbie in this beautiful course. We are really looking forward to it. And it's recorded if you can't join live and if you want to listen to it again. And again, the frequencies that you will feel the shift in your nervous system is fortification, fortification for you to show up here on the earth empowered and emboldened, supported with the animals as well. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Debbie. This is exciting. And we will have to have you back to talk about your experiences with extraterrestrials as we go deeper in that. But we thank you for this wisdom today because it absolutely is so healing and rich for all of us. As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final thoughts.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, so I have to just say what's coming up. You have such a healing voice. I just have to acknowledge that you are doing the right thing with your life, Loren. And this
Excellent.
voice, you have a transmission that comes out with this gorgeous,
Wow.
just yummy voice
Mhm.
frequency. So thank you for that gift.
Wow.
And for the folks who are out there, Loren, acknowledge this. Yes, I kept it to $33 for this 90-minute session. My team even said, but I have to tell you, when I hear it, all I know is the more people I can work with and help right now, the more people who will be healed and whole out there. And that is what matters. We are at such an interesting time, but it's a magical time. And so thank you in advance for trusting me to facilitate this and to work with you. And as far as where we're going, remember who you are. Remember your gifts. Remember why you're here. This stuff is, in a way, white noise that is coming up to be noisy, but really so that new choices could be made to be healed. And that's happening in people. There'll be things more and more, by the way, coming out about people, institutions we trusted, countries, all sorts of stuff. But it is supposed to be. and to remember, these huge shoulders when we were up wherever we were as souls and we were deciding to incarnate again, and source energy said, wow, there's this dense planet Earth and there's going to be a lot going on, but we need really particular people who can hold the light right now, really particular people who could make this timeline change for not repeating Atlantis, not repeating Lemurius, and not repeating what happened in many other planets and galaxies. Let's make a difference. And all of us said, put me in, coach. I got this. I'm going to
Yes.
bring my brand of light. So never, never question why you are here. There's tons of souls still on the waiting list. Like, I didn't get in this time, but you did. So you have such great purpose, and I acknowledge your magnificence for being here right now.
So inspiring. Thank you. That is so magical. And again, we are feeling uplifted and cherished and game on, because we knew when we came here, we raised our hands high and said, heck yeah, that's easy. All we have to do is be love. We've got that. So we just have to remember and go for it in all ways. Thank you, Debbie Dachinger, for this beautiful conversation and activation. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.